bunch of fun maps to just throw around. Some of which are my business and some of which are your business. This place is where you got your mission last time.
Mm-hmm.
This is, as you can see, there's a circular dome and there's the remains of another circular dome that had some sort of terrible fate occur to it. And so down the hill, this is the hill looking from above. This is the ruined one. And then this is the whole one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the map of what's below is down here, but that's none of your business. So pulling out all these notes that I have taken, I don't think I described the dissolution church fellow who gave you that meeting.
No.
So
No, I don't.
the lawful guy I did. You did? Yeah.
Okay.
But this fellow, not so much. And so I will do so a little bit now. This fellow looks very much like a ordinary person. He's looks like somebody who probably has 6 kids and a comfortable wife somewhere, and kind of looks like he ought to be doing something very easy behind a desk somewhere, which is a little strange for him to be in this strange dome, which is, as you can see, equally strangely, mostly made up of basically a greenhouse. This whole area here has grass and plants and gardening sections with a few substantial, almost tree-like bushes. And they're very, very exotic and a jumble of different colors and types. So that's in here. Now, he's a middle-aged guy. He's doesn't have any distinguishing features or anything like that. And he seems very nice about the, you are not there. Seems very nice, Alexian, about the failure of the mission, the failure of the retrieval of the box. But if the box has in fact disappeared entirely, how much are you going to tell him about what actually
You
happened?
better keep quiet.
Well,
I actually had a thought of how I would tell this.
Mhm.
In
Very sweet. Welcome.
telling it, we found Phobos after searching, and we found him in a very dangerous place, and he in a bad in a small fight he was really skilled. The box accidentally fell to the ground and opened. It's not completely false, and it disappeared.
He would like to know a little bit more. First of all, this is Calvos Kaw, Kalvos, Kah, Calvos Kaw. He is at the moment he's listening carefully, and he's got kind of this look of piercing intellect. He's listening to you very carefully. You get the idea that he's recording all of this, every detail of what you say. He says, I am a little unclear on the circumstances of the fight.
All right.
Who was fighting?
It was us and Phobos. He didn't really want to let go of the box.
There was no one else there.
Not to my knowledge.
He turns his attention from you. He adjusts his clothes. He uses carefully chosen words about how, if all is well, if the contents of the box are dispersed in a fashion, did it cause disruption? That's the wrong way he would put it. Were our interests compromised by when the box was released? I trust it was not empty, Alexei. You better not lie.
If you ask me, if it was empty upon release, it was empty after it opened. It was very full when it opened. Too full.
And the contents, are they in the city at this time?
I don't believe so.
Where was this?
It was a weird place. It was.
You can say out in the ruined city by the sea.
Out in a ruined city by the sea.
The outcome could be worse. The outcome could be much worse.
I agree with you.
Now, I'm willing to call this a partial victory. I am willing to provide a suitable token of reward and appreciation. But the business is not fully concluded, and I suspect shenanigans on the part of your companion, who has some associates I've discovered that I am a little bit suspicious about. So, therefore, I'm going to set you to a task as well. Think of it as part B of this situation.
That would be.
I will get back to that.
Right.
So, and this is going to be a bit of a map for you, right?
Yeah.
And we will learn more about this part of the Chaos Church later. For you, what have we chosen, Yaroslav?
Half-orc, fighter cleric.
Oh, cool. All right then. Now another consideration then. May I just make this just in here? Okay.
You get it.
And so I suspect a high strength and a high wisdom, correct?
12 wisdom.
Okay. With a high wisdom for a cleric, you get a lot more magic.
I'm a fighter, first of all.
Okay, if you say so. It's your choice. Where did you put the other 16?
Core.
Constitution? Okay. Not a bad idea. Okay. So now, for you, the next step is this box down here called alignment. Now, this is kind of your character's personal philosophy of life, but in this game, it takes on a lot of metaphysical power. And for an assassin, you have to be evil. So there are 3 that you could choose. Before you choose, let me clarify that if you, you said fighter cleric.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong. You have every choice except for the middle.
Okay.
Which makes life a little more difficult. And the one thing you need to know before you choose is that there are 2 massive churches, and if you are chaotic anything, the Church of the Dissolution owns you, or you believe in it, or you are associated with it. If you are, especially a cleric, if you are lawful anything, then the ordination has the same role. So chaotic anything is with the Church of Dissolution. The lawful anything is with the Church of Ordination. If you choose to be either neutral good or neutral evil, you would belong to neither of those churches, but you would belong to one of the little temples on the Street of the Gods. Those are the little sort of, you know, tiny little sects and tiny little cultural religions that have set up on the street of the gods, particularly in the middle. You see, because there's kind of a complicated war along the street of the gods. It connects the two churches across the whole city. So they have kind of a complicated notion of like who gets to have more of the street of the gods. So that means the middle is kind of a crazy place. And that's where all the little churches set up all their little shrines. And so, so if you wanted to be one of these small churches, you would be either neutral good or neutral evil. But that's also where a lot of business gets done in that area. But this means that your alignment choice is very significant for your character. So the answer is play someone you really want to play. That's the key. Play something that you think would be very fun to play. And if you need any help understanding what this bizarre terminology is about, please feel free to ask. You know, back when this book was written, these alignment and these terms did not exist culturally. Now it's just casual speech, right? Lawful good, everybody kind of knows what you mean. It's just slang. Back then, it was completely arcane and specific to Dungeons and Dragons only. So.
But it's still specific to Dungeons and Dragons, isn't it? Because
Well,
I've played a lot of games, but I haven't heard it before now.
I've heard it in different.
Yeah.
it has, well, it has been ported into many digital games.
Oh, see.
And then variants of it have appeared in a variety of other role-playing games. So here we have two places, one of which is where Hazel stays, which has a very basic common room, not even a kitchen, just some stocked dry foods or whatever, or easy foods, and some alcohol. It does have a fireplace, but upstairs there is where the owner lives, and where the somebody he trusts a lot, it seems to be around a lot, where that person lives. These are curtains. And then by herself, poor Hazel, over here, fortunately next to the fireplace. Actually, a very comfy spot.
Isn't so bad.
But you, for whatever reason, you are living kind of just in this very small corner liquor stop place. And so that is where you are. Not like the most private or the most wonderful place to live, but it could be worse. And a lot of time is spent for you in the Lane Barghest, which is a much more social place where a lot of business gets done, a lot of goods exchange hands, and because you see the Thieves Guild does not have a headquarters. And many different places conduct a lot of different businesses, and a lot of it is happening at the Lane Barghest at this time.
And all ears.
So this is where you would pick up odd jobs or try to gain some influence with people, or try to sell something that you happens to acquire, or in your case, turn over a certain amount of what you have acquired lately. So you are getting hit twice. One is 10% to the church. One is 10% to the Thieves Guild.
Look at this. So I better find a new
10%
job.
gone for you too.
Exactly.
So, and for you.
Yep.
So the
Oh yeah, you had a job too, right?
no, yes, he did. In fact, he did his job much better than you did.
You
You
Yeah,
know,
he
mostly
didn't
by
do-
almost drowning.
You're paralyzed.
He didn't do anything exactly.
No.
Until the
Yeah,
fight at the
yeah,
end.
yeah,
No,
just
no,
at
no.
the end,
He
spread
did
some
quite a bit.
darkness.
Yeah. No, at the fight at the end, he did quite a bit.
He
Um,
spread some darkness,
yeah.
yes. That's
okay,
true.
so you've made some choices.
Yeah,
Cool.
neutral good.
Oh my goodness, that actually changes things a little.
Wait. I
You're-
want my beer before you
Yeah.
drink that away.
You're
Thank you.
hoping for someone
I
evil.
need it.
Say again.
You're hoping for someone evil.
No, actually, it's
Yes.
quite nice. We have a nice contrast now. Neutral good is all about how the results need to be good. So good for people, good for society, good for the animals, good for nature, whatever. Good should all be good for everybody, if possible. And so it's a very nice way to look at the world. But it doesn't matter how. If somebody is about upholding the order of society and the cosmos, and that would be good, that doesn't make any sense to you. You're like, whatever it takes. So it can be any you're not ideological, except for the good part. Yes.
We're about to leave, so we will be locking the door.
See you later.
When you're leaving, will you do the calendar thing by the door?
Yes.
We'll try to remember.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. I think I forgot to do that last Wednesday, but whatever.
Somebody else did it, I think.
That's good because it wasn't me. So what we're going to do now is say to you that on this is a tiny part of the temple, the street of the gods here. And you can see that it is lined by a whole bunch of very quirky buildings. And that goes on for blocks and blocks. And so here, where there's this cool temple building with actually very prosperous, right? It's got these hedges and a gate that goes in and whatever it is. I mean, I blew it up down here. So here this is, right? Really nice looking domed temple here with some other kind of cool place on the backing it. You can see these are pretty nice. And there's a weird one too, made of all these interconnected islands in a pond. Then there's this here. And this is a battered old building which is largely abandoned. And here is a place that, with its back to the street, which has been covered by graffiti, that blank wall. And this, it was some sort of service building or some kind of secondary building to this. That's where your temple is. Okay. And there's a very sinister one here. There's something, I don't know quite what this is, but whatever that is, that doesn't look good. And you'll notice that it has like a nasty wall built around it, right? With some kind of spikes or barbs or something. And the way I look at it is that wall was built by everybody else. After a little while, they said, this needs a wall. So your temple's pretty new in town, if you see my point, right? You're going to need worshipers, you're going to need some income, you're going to need to establish yourself. Because let's be frank, a lot of people try to set up a temple of their religion here in the Street of the Gods. Most of them give up after a little while. It's a tough crowd. So some have stayed, and some obviously have become quite prosperous and built up buildings or taken over really good ones and renovated them and things. And people flock to those temples, and that's great. But you've just got a little bit of a start with your holy person, whose name is Olver. Olver is clearly a saint of this benevolent god. And at the moment is under a deep vow of silence and indifference. He has to contemplate a lot of things to decide what the next good thing will be. So that means you're not getting a lot of leadership from Over right now. There's another fellow who is supposed to be joining you. He has not yet arrived. He has not yet arrived in the city or from some district in the city to join you. Perhaps you know him already, but we'll know more about that when Milo is here.